guys, it's Jana Eubank. I am here to create a Halloween page today. I have these photos of my daughters carving some pumpkins last year, and I wanted to use the American Crafts BOOtiful Night collection. So I have this paper pad that I'm going to be using to create this layout, and then a few of the accessory pieces. I have the die cut shapes, the puffy stickers, and the regular stickers, which, sorry, I left them over on another desk for a minute. So we'll be using these, and let's see where this layout goes.
I almost always start a page by printing off my photos and then just kind of placing them on my background paper to decide the arrangement that I want them to be in. So that's what I've done here. And from that point, I usually build up pattern paper layers behind the photos, and then I finish by placing embellishment clusters and other layers on top. This time, because I'm working with a 6x6 paper pad, I decided to reverse that process. So I'm flipping through the die cuts and deciding what embellishments I want to use first, and then I will start building up the paper layers behind. So how I'm choosing these is I'm just picking out things that are catching my eye, just things that are cute. And then of course I grab those jack-o'-lantern stickers, because if you're doing a page about carving pumpkins, you better have some jack-o'-lanterns, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to put them on the bottom, and then use a quadrant type design where the top right and lower left quadrants are filled with photos, and then the other two quadrants will be filled with pattern paper, embellishments, and stickers. So I flipped through the pattern papers, and I just picked out this aqua plaid because number one, it's so cute, and number two, it helps the blue color really helps those orange pumpkins to pop off of that background. So now I'm laying down the 6x6 paper pad in the upper left quadrant and just deciding what color do I want to bring up there. Do I want to bring up some orange? Do I want to do something totally different? Do I want to do another blue? And as I'm flipping through them, I decide, you know what? I'm just going to leave it blank. I'm going to fill that with some journaling and not add any pattern paper. So I move on to the photos, and I decide to get them matted. I mat them on some black cardstock, and then just to shake things up a little bit, I decide to mat that second smaller photo with a black 6x6 pattern paper. So the top picture, the 4x6, and that first 3x4 are on solid black, and then that second photo with my daughter with the pigtails is on a black pattern, and that just visually makes it a little more interesting. So I'm liking the way this is going, and I'm just starting to get the layers down so that they're not moving around, and I can start building out from there. I pop up the Jeepers Creepers speech bubbles on some foam squares to give that page some dimension, and then I will do that as well to some other elements around the page, just to make it more interesting. So here I'm putting the pumpkins on some foam squares as well. Now I initially had all three pumpkins at the bottom, but because I had that diagonal visual line going through the two embellishment quadrants opposite of each other, I decided to pull the third one up to the top left quadrant and carry that orange color up there next to the cat. So usually using the visual triangle design principle, I know that I'm going to do some embellishment up in that top right corner. And I start pulling out some other layers. I think I'm going to do this doily, and then I'm like, no, maybe I'll put it over this spider web over here underneath the cat and kind of fill out that diagonal line coming down from the 4x6 picture. And I don't know, I'm just kind of playing with some things. I get distracted for a little bit thinking, you know, what do I want to put next to these pumpkins? And I spot that cute purple witch hat, and I decide, you know what, I'm going to top that smaller pumpkin with a witch hat. That will fill that little space in between leading up to the title, and, you know, just, I don't know, just add a little bit more color. So I love that. So I move back to what do I want to put next to the pumpkins, and I'm pulling out some word stickers and thinking I might put something like that down there. I try out some flair, but I decide, no, I don't want any words down here. There's already the pumpkins. I don't need another icon. So I just decide to go with the cute little candy corn sprinkled puffy stickers, which I love right there. They're so happy and cute. So I sprinkle those there, and then I get the pumpkin and the cat adhered down so that I can add some more of those candy corn stickers up by them. You can see I pulled off that silver spiderweb doily from right there, and I decide not to put that next to the cat. There's already one spiderweb, I don't need another one, and I just fill that space with the candy corn stickers. So now that I have that in place, I realize that my photo is a little ski-wampus, so I just take a second to fix that. And then I will start building out some more layers and detail behind the photo. I love this sketchy polka dot circle pattern paper from the 6x6 paper pad, and it was laying at the top of my desk, and I spotted it and thought, oh, that'll be perfect to bring some orange up to the top right corner. So I tucked that behind the photo, and then I started working on some more details. I grabbed that little spider, thinking, gotta have a spider. I've got all these spider webs going, so gotta add a spider on here. So I add him next to the Jeepers Creepers, and then I tuck in these silver spiderweb doilies. I didn't go with black on the spider webs because I felt like it was too contrasty, too prominent. I just wanted kind of some texture in those upper right and left corners, so I went with the silver. It just kind of blends in. It's kind of medium tone to blend in with the white cardstock background. You can see I drew some journaling lines, so I'll come back and fill in the journaling there in a minute, but I decide to work on that upper right embellishment cluster. I punched out some little banners from the 6x6 paper pad, and at first I had that candy corn pattern in the white, but I thought, oh, you know what, I ought to pull in some purple since I've got that purple witch hat down at the bottom with on top of the pumpkin's head. I'm going to pull up some purple to the top and just kind of repeat that color. So I add that one there, and then I'm just kind of, you know, auditioning some stickers and deciding how I want to add some more finishing touches. I spot those cute puffy sketchy stars on the puffy sticker sheet, and I'm like, oh, those will be cute. So I know I want to add those on, and I'm just deciding where I want them. I'm thinking I want them above the pumpkins and over by the cat, but then I decide, you know what, stars don't go at the bottom of the sky, they go at the top of the sky. So this is the way my brain thinks, at least. So I fiddle with them, and I decide to put them next to the eek by the cat, and then I tuck them around the top right corner of the page behind the banners, just kind of peeking out from behind the layers. And then I add that monsters word sticker in the aqua to bring the aqua to the top of the page. So I'm ready to do my journaling and some finishing details, and I decide with the sketchy style of the artwork on this page, I decide to outline the layers with a black pen. So I'm just kind of lifting up things and getting the visible parts of those papers outlined. And then I go ahead and also outline the edge of the entire layout. So I kept falling off the edge of the layout with my pen, so I do kind of a couple lines to make it look more scribbly and sketchy, and it actually works really well with the style of this pattern paper, so, and the icons, so I love that. I was going to handwrite my journaling, but with the textured background it wasn't working, so I erased those journaling lines, and I will go and print some word strips in a second. But first, I wanted a little bit more contrast, a little bit more pattern to the layers, so I add in these little sketchy strips of this diagonal striped paper, and I love how that looks. It just kind of adds a little bit more pop. So from there, I move down the spider sticker to just continue that diagonal line of embellishment going through the center of the page, and then I add a bit of black string to him for his spider web and to kind of tie him into all the little spider webs going on around the page. I used my computer to create some journaling strips, and now I'm just getting them in place with some liquid adhesive. I use the tweezers so that my fingers aren't in the way while I'm trying to place it, and that's it. This page is finished. It's filled out. So I really love how it came together. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and here's a closer look at the details. There's also some still shots coming up. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you again soon.